I always had love for dogs. Dogs always was my first love. But when I started my podcast and when I started YouTube, it was a little bit different for me. I wanted to bring awareness to some of the health problems that certain breeds would have that might be underlined that the average consumer or the average owner might not know about. I wanted to bring awareness to how important it is to deworm your dog, or how important it is to make sure your dog get, their blood work done at once a year. And I definitely wanted to bring awareness to saving money in your pocket because dogs cost. So Duro Lounge is one of those things where we conversate about things that we went through, things that we had to deal with, and what you might see in the future.
Yes, yes, yes. Duro Recio Bully Camp. What's that word? What's that word? What's that word, man? When I'm back with another premiere, as I said, and this is going to be a good one. I hope everybody is good. Whoever tuned in, I appreciate you. Whoever stayed for the whole show, I appreciate you. Whoever view it after is no longer premiering, I appreciate you. And whoever watch it again, I appreciate you because support is everything when you're doing a podcast or when you're doing something, positive with yourself and you have people who want to learn, people who listen to you, people who really like what you give and bring night in and night out. And I really appreciate that because it shows me that, you know, I have a little bit more I have a gift, and what that gift is you know, having people coming to learn and listen, you know. So I thank everybody who subscribed, who's not subscribed, who just come and watch, or who come and listen, who come and like, whatever the case may be, man. I can't thank you enough, honestly. Um, Tonight's show is going to be a good one. It's going to be very informative for people who love their dogs. I tell people all the time, man, if by any chance, I would just want to put this disclaimer out there. By any chance, if you do not, uh, you know, like what I provide or like the things that I talk about or the things that I'm about, just don't watch me. You know what I mean? Simple and plain. Don't watch me. But for the people who care about their dogs, and their dogs not just about money, their dogs is really their life. They a dog man, dog women, dog woman, whatever the case may be, dog mom, pet owner, whatever the case may be, man. You are in the right place. This show is for you. All right. So don't feel like this show ain't for you. If you're not breeding dogs or whatever the case, you can take this information that I'm giving and you could put this with your everyday pet, with your buddy, whatever you got. All right. So you're in the right place, man. But I just want to address a few things like I've always done every show. And I want to talk about a little bit about protecting your peace. Right. And one thing I learned about protecting your peace is is one of the hardest things you have to do, you know, besides like chasing your dreams, is removing that negative energy from your life. And I see so much hate nowadays, people hating on each other for no reason, people competing with each other. Some people shouldn't be competing with each other, some people shouldn't be trying to compete at all. But they tearing each other down instead of building each other up. And I experienced it too, in so many different levels. And, there are people who hate on me. And honestly, man, I show nothing but love and respect to certain individuals. And there comes a point where you look at a certain situation and you just say, you know what? I don't even want to be around that energy no more. And not because, you know, you scared, or not because you like, oh, none of that foolishness or something that someone who's weak may think. Not because you're weak, but it's because you honestly outgrown it. You outgrown the foolishness. You're no longer there with the foolishness anymore. You passed that, and that's all right. See, all of us have had a season in our life, right, where we went um, outside and we explored, and no matter no matter how much our parents try to keep us away from foolishness, we still went that way. And you made those bad decisions, and sometimes we got caught up in the streets, and maybe you said things you wish you could take, right? And maybe you hurt people or made mistakes, and had a lot of growing pains, and that's life. But growth is about learning from those moments, man, not living in them forever. And I see a lot of people try to live in their moments forever. Look, man, we all from the ghetto. We all from the streets. We don't get points from being from the streets in the ghetto. What we get points is taking our family and ourselves to the next level, right? So the goal isn't to stay the same person you were 10 years ago. The goal is always, like I always say, you got to evolve to become a better man, a better woman, a better father, a better mother, a better son, a better brother, whatever. Every lesson you go through is supposed to shape you. It's not supposed to trap you. It's not supposed to make you stay the same. You understand what I'm saying to you? For me personally, I mean, who y'all know as Duro, I'm in a different space. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. You know what I'm saying? I don't wake up trying to outshine the next man. I don't wake up looking for drama. I wake up trying to build something that I got closer to build yesterday. You understand? I wake up trying to become better than I was yesterday. I wake up every day, I'm zoned out. I seen a buddy of mine the other day, no lie. I'm standing on the porch. I see a buddy of mine, and he walk up and he's like, yo. Honestly, I didn't even hear him. I was so zoned out thinking about my next move and how I can be better that I didn't even see him. So I see him and I'm like, what up, gang? And he was like, what's up? And I was like, what's wrong with him? Right? I'm like, yeah, you get a new car yet? He like, yeah. So he ended up walking back the direction. And I said, what up? I came down, spoke to him. He said, bro, I said, yo to you. And I said, bro, you can't, don't take that personal. I said, don't take that personal, bro. I said, you get a new car? He said, yeah. I said, what you get, man? He said, I got a Chevy. I said, all right. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, like, at first he was kind of like, man, I said, what's up? And I was happy to see you. And you ain't give me the love that I thought you was supposed to respond back to. And I'm like, nah, bro, like, I just got success on my mind. I'm not thinking about nothing else but that. Right. And that's what it is. And that's what I'm always trying to become, man. Because I've actually said it a few episodes ago on Doro Lounge that I wasn't going to respond to negativity no more. And I meant that. You know what I'm saying? And not because I can't, not because I'm scared, not because anything. Again, I got to make these disclaimers for suckers, right? Anybody can go back and forth online, and it that don't take no discipline, y'all, because it's online. But the real discipline is staying focused when people trying to distract you from being focused. That's the real discipline. So for me, that's the space that I'm in, right? So no matter what a person says or person thinks of me, what I do, what I don't do, what I own, what I don't own, my dogs, what you know, whatever the case may be, to they think. Because I really don't care what nobody think. I never did. All right, I am my own man, and I'm focused on becoming a successful brother. I'm focused on my family. I'm focused on my dog. I'm focused on building my brand. I'm focused on educating people. You know, understand what I'm saying to you? And if somebody doesn't like that, I wish them nothing but the best anyway. Believe that, because I'm doing what I'm doing for me. I'm not doing it for you. You see what I'm saying? Because carrying hate is heavy, man. But carrying love, man, that's how you know you're a star, when you carry that love within. You know what I mean? Because love don't weigh you down. Hate weigh you down, man. That's heavy. You got to hold on that every day you wake up, man. I hate, I can't stand. I don't want to see this person. I don't want to see their page. I don't want to see their show. Whatever the case is. You know what I mean? But it's true. It's true. You know, one thing about Duro Ricio Bully Camp is that I am a stand-up man. All right. That's just one thing about me. I am a stand-up man. And being a stand-up man in today's world, it gets overlooked by people because they're not stand-up men. They try to appear like they stand up men, but they're not. So you know what that do? You know what I do? I rub people the wrong way. And I don't care. Because I'm not here to be buddies. If you my friend, if we family, if we brothers, then we brothers. Then we friends, then we family. If we not, I don't care what you think of me or anything, how you view me or anything. Why would I care about what you think? You see what I'm saying, y'all? We have to continue to move and live our lives the way that we want to live our lives. We can't live our life for people who think we're supposed to live our life a certain way for them, right? And since I always say, let me get my DJ pound, his music popping, and because I like to vibe out when I speak. Pardon, but that's what it is. And I see it every day. I see it every time. So many people unfollow me. I unfollowed so many people, um, and I genuinely don't care. You know what I'm saying, about having um, certain people around or certain energy around. You just outgrow, foolishness. You just outgrow things that you feel like you don't really need in your life no more. And that's just how I feel. Like, I need certain things in my life anymore. So there's no need for me to engage with certain individuals. There's no need for me to be around certain individuals. It's nothing that's gonna bring, me anything more. Being around certain individuals, is that helping me elevate? People following me, is that helping me elevate? Is that helping me get to the level that I'm trying to achieve? I don't think so. So what's the best thing to do for me? Is to understand that, Doro, that don't matter. It don't matter, right? So let's move on. Let's do what we gotta do, and let's continue to ball the way that we supposed to continue to ball and continue to grow, right? So that's how I feel when these things, come to mind and come to play, right? So tonight, man, if you're listening, I just want to, let you know, whatever negativity you've been holding on to, stop letting people who don't clap for you control your emotions. Keep growing, keep learning, keep evolving. And at the end of the day, man, we all on borrowed time, right? Don't waste it trying to win arguments that don't even matter. Don't waste it trying to prove to people who you are that don't matter. Spend that time becoming the best version of yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Because becoming the best version of yourself, that's gonna let those people who doubt you, who don't matter, that's gonna let you elevate and evolve on them. You know what I mean? And then they really not gonna like you even more. But you don't care. Don't you ever let that stop you. You continue to grow. You continue to glow. All right. So that's the main thing, man. Like I always say, man, to be aware is to be alive. And if we aware of what's bringing us down, or we aware of fake or negative energy, we gotta get rid of it, and we gotta get rid of it for good. You understand? And that's the mood that I'm in. I don't care. And let me make this clear. I don't care what a person says of me, says about me or think of me. I don't care. And I won't respond to negativity. You know what I mean? Because my brand is going to be successful because I've always been successful. So I'm determined to continue to be successful in God's will, in God's name. So any human being that feels like they cannot stop what God has in store for me, so you let them drown and be a clown and let them frown while we win. Because that's what we about. We about winning, man. You know what I mean? We about winning. That's what we about. We ain't about none of that foolish, man. And I just wanted to, keep that. Uh, I just wanted to keep uh, that energy that I need to keep, man. Because sometimes we get away from who we are sometimes to scoop down to another person level or different individuals levels, right? And that's just sad, man. We ain't gonna talk too much about that because, but it's I just want to say it is hard in this dog community. It is hard to continue to try to elevate when so many people is hating on you or what you about or what you try to bring or the things you try to bring or any of those things. It is really, really hard to do. I will say that. It's really, really hard to do that, y'all. And so sometimes it will put you in a mood where you like, man, I don't even feel like this right now. But you gotta keep going. Like I said, don't you let that stop you. Don't you ever let it stop you. You continue to grow, you continue to glow, man. We ain't gonna keep repeating ourselves. That's one thing we ain't gonna do. But one thing we is gonna do is we're gonna let it be known the stage that we on now. Okay? And that's just what it is, because that's how we coming. All right. So let's get into some business. Now, these charts I made myself. I did take information from the vet, but this is information that I made myself. And let me see if I can make this. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Let's see. All right. So this is how the vet, check your dog and see if it's overweight, right? And this is some of the things that you can do at home to see if your dog is overweight. So the chart that I made, it says, look for a waist. You should see a visible waist when viewed from above, right? So you see that waist? That's what you should see. Feel the ribs. Place hands on the rib cage. You should easily feel the ribs with a thin layer of fat covering them, right? Now the side view. The belly should tuck toward the hips. And see, that's the type of dog I like. I like a dog who has a really good, tuck on the stomach, really good tuck. Bully or American Pit Bull Terrier doesn't really matter to me, but that's what I like. And so when you look at this chart, these are things that you can look at, because one of the biggest misconceptions in the dog world is that a thicker, heavy dog is automatically a healthy dog, right? But you have to look at it in reality. Excess body fat can shorten a dog's lifespan really, really fast. And this was my whole problem with a few years ago when people just was feeding a whole bunch of stuff for no reason to their dogs. It's because you have to understand, by putting unnecessary stress on your dog's body, it's on every organ you're putting that stress on, right? So you got to understand how to be smart. And You don't have to always follow this right here. This right here is called the BCS, and it's called the body condition score. Now you don't always have to, follow this chart, but you can still keep your dog conditioned or healthy to the point where you don't have a lot of health problems, or you're not leading down a road to have health problems, right? The first thing to look for is, like I said, the defined waist. When viewing your dog from the top, the chest should always have, you know, um, the widest part of the body, followed by the narrowing behind the ribs, as you see in the photo here, right? So if the body looks more rectangular or oval without any taper, your dog may be carrying like extra fat, right? So that's how you should look at your dog. And then when you look at like the side view here, when you look at the dog from the side view, a healthy dog should have that abdominal tuck, like I said, you know, and meaning that the belly should always naturally rise upward from the rib cage toward the hips. And that's another way how you keep your dog's hips nice and healthy. A lot of people don't know that. A sagging, unhanging belly, man, it often shows that a dog have a lot of body fat on his body. And I'm not talking about an old or a spayed or neutered dog, or a pregnant dog, or a dog that got medical conditions at an older age. I'm not talking about that. That do not matter. Um, but I just wanted to break things down for y'all on that, because this is very important, right? And the goal is to have a healthy dog and a healthy heart. The heart is just like us, right? What we eat goes to our body, our organs, our heart, right? So we can get a clogged heart, right? We can have strokes, heart attacks, different things, just from us not paying attention to good and bad cholesterol. Well, it's the same thing for your dog. Nutrition, and the right nutrition, is the key, and it's the way to keep your dog alive for a longer time. And that's the main thing that I try to tell people all the time. Now, listen, like I said, I'm gonna put this disclaimer out a couple times. I do not care. Okay, if you don't believe me, if you don't care, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people who want to know, who want to make sure they're doing right by their animal. The, the people that's looking to have their dogs around for a long time, that's the people I'm talking to. I'm not talking to people who don't care. I'm not talking to you. So you can leave, you cannot come. I'm not talking to you. But the people who care, this is who I'm talking to. All right. So that's just something I wanted to talk about, for us dog men and dog women who really love our pets and want our dogs to succeed. All right. So this is the main thing. Dogs are dogs are one of the few animals, I would say, that is very good at hiding pain and very good at hiding the illness. You know, showing weakness in the wild, for instance, an animal, it makes an animal vulnerable, right? And that instinct still exists with your dogs. So many dogs continue eating and playing and jumping on you and loving on you and wagging their tail a whole time, a whole disease or a whole illness or a whole ailment is bothering them. And you don't even know it. And this is why I tell people, this is why even in the intro, I said, I wanted to bring awareness to have people understand that yearly veterinarian examination is important. I wanted to bring awareness to the dog community on why it's important to have a physical exam, because it's things that you don't think is wrong could be wrong, right? And if your dog never had blood pulled, your dog never had a fecal done, you could deworm it all you want. But do you really know it's no worms or heartworms? Do you really know that your dog is 100% healthy because you don't see nothing? See, a lot of people have that tendency of doing things, and it's just like, when we don't want to hear nothing's wrong with our vehicle, right? You're like, man, listen, I just came for an oil change. Yeah, but you need struts. We like, here we go. Now this mechanic telling me I need struts, man. Here we go, bro. I don't feel like hearing that, man. I just came for the oil change. You know what I mean? Make the car ride smoother, a little bit more quiet in the engine. Now you telling me I need struts, front and back. But that's just how it is, though, man. That's how it is with your dog. And, when you go and you get your dog heart and lungs listened to, examine the eyes and the ears, and the doctor, the techs, we feel the dominant and the large organs, or masses, and look at the skin, just not the coat, the skin of the dog, the teeth. I keep telling people, teeth is very important. Teeth is very important for us. Okay. When you floss, you can brush your teeth and your gums is healthy, your heart is healthy. You might not believe it, but it's true. Because a bad infection could go to your heart. It's the same with your dog. So cleaning your dog teeth or going to the vet and having your dog teeth clean, it matters. It does, right? Having your joints and your lymph nodes checked on your body is just important as having it checked on your dogs, right? So you always got to make sure that you taking your dog for these annuals to help you keep your dog alive. See, when a tech comes in, whether it's a person like, let me tell you about me. When I'm in the field, when I'm not on Duro Recio boot camp, but when I'm at work, when I'm doing what I'm doing, right? I always go TPR first. Then I'm going to go temperature, in the butt, right? And I'm going to see the temperature of the dog. I'm going to see how if the dog is panting and is panting too much, somebody can't fully hear the respiratory and hear what I need to hear because it's breathing too hard, it's panting. So we just got to put pant. But I'm going to do these things because me personally, I like to know my own dog's temperature. All right, because the temperature tells you everything about your dog, just like if it's a human. When we get sick, the first thing we do is grab the thermometer, right? Put it under our tongue, see, oh man, do I got a fever? All right, so why wouldn't that be the same thing for your dog? So this is how you got to understand. I'm looking for irregular heartbeats. I'm feeling for enlarged organs. I'm looking at teeth because I want to see if there's going to be any dental diseases. I'm feeling joints and pulling them up and slowly pulling them down because I want to see if there's any arthritis. I'm feeling on their throat and around their throat because I'm trying to see if there's any thyroid problems. If it's a female, okay, I might have my partner flip her over and I might have my partner feel on her nipples, right? So I want to see if she has or he has any skin problems, whether it's allergies, a skin tumor. I want to see if there's any lumps and there's any cancers or anything around. This is how I do my exam, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm thoroughly checking a dog. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's true. I had a dog come in, and this is a true story. I had a dog come in maybe, this is like 2023 or 24, I want to say. And it was an older dog. and she come in, and this is why I like to be thorough. So just stay with me. Person come in, the dog come in, the person go into the exam room, they check the dog out, so they say, all right, they do the TPR and all that, right? And they said the dog sounded fine. Well, I think it was about, if not, if it was a week or a few days later, that dog passed away. And come to find out, that dog had a heart murmur that the owner was never told about. Right? So that's one of those things that I say that person wasn't thorough. That tech was not thorough at all. And you want to do a thorough check when you're dealing with somebody's pet, just like you want to do a thorough check when you're dealing with somebody's vehicle. You don't want their tire flying off while they on the expressway. You know what I mean? You don't want that to happen. You don't want you don't want to check they their gas tank, right? And you forgot to put the clamp on it. So when they get on the expressway, all their oil, all their fuel come out. You don't want to do that, right? So if you don't want to do that, then it's the same thing with these animals, because animals can have high blood pressure, they can have heart disease, and they definitely are prone to heart murmurs, right? So you got to understand that these things happen, and everything is not the vet fault. You know what I mean? People think that I'm coming to advocate for pharmaceutical reps. So I'm here to advocate for the veterinarians. You got me totally misconstrued. First of all, you got me totally messed up, because I'm not advocating for anything. When I advocate for something, I'm advocating for the animals and the animals only. That's what I'm about. If I can help my brothers and sisters take better care of their animals and save their money in their pocket, then that's what I'm willing to do by all costs, by any means. And for me, there's nothing wrong with that, right? For me. So I just want my people to understand that when you come on my show or when you come on my platform, I'm not telling you to, oh yeah, vaccinate your dog. I'm not telling you to, oh, yeah, you have to do this. I'm not telling you have to do anything. All I'm telling you is what I see day in, day out. You don't have to believe me. But like I always say, and it's the reason I say it, to be aware is to be alive. So understand it. You don't got to take it. I'm just here to give it. Okay? So you got to understand, man, these are real things. And the reason why I get upset and the reason why I get mad and angry is because I see people make mistakes all the time. Right? I see people make mistakes all the time, and feeding your dog is the proper way is you're going to have that dog for a long time. All right? Nutrition is one of the most important factors. All right? When it comes to your dog health. Every heartbeat, just like us, man. Every heartbeat, like why whole grains and grains is healthy for us. So you got to understand why it's healthy for your dogs, right? Oxygen and energy. Feeding a complete balanced diet for your dog helps support a strong heart. Helps give your dog muscles, the strength that it needs. These are the things that you got to understand. High quality foods is out here and available to us to give your dog the proper balance of protein, fats, vitamins. Not all fats are bad for your dog. There's some things that's good fats for your dog, right? Lean protein is good. Minerals, vitamins, chicken, turkey, fish. All right. It help me maintain that muscle mass that you looking for. How many times I was one of the first people to come to the internet. Actually, I was the first person to come to the internet. Now I see other people taking my way, talking about feeding their dogs and this, that, and the third. But I'm the one that came to the internet telling people whether you feed kibble, whether you don't feed kibble, whatever the case is, more meat in your dog bowl, that's better for your dog. And that's the truth. More meat in your dog bowl. Okay? Moisture in your dog bowl. Not just dry kibble all day, every day. Moisture in your dog food. I'm not saying to fill the bowl up full of water in dog food. That's not what I'm saying. But to put moisture in the bottom of your dog food and have your dog food a little bit moisturized, that helps that dog body breaks down that kibble if you feeding kibble. All right. Why omega-3? Right? That's a fatty acid. That help reduce the inflammation. So when you working out your dog, like a lot of people talking about they do, and this, that, and the third. See, a lot of people, this is why. A lot of people don't even know when you work out your dog. When you work out, you're supposed to have something that's going to feed your muscles and help rest your muscles. Well, your dog needs the same thing. If you take your dog on a 2-3 mile run, walk every day, your dog can start to get inflammation, right? So that fatty acid helps, whether it's green lip mussel, that helps. Whether it's some shrimp, whether it's some salmon, that helps. And that allows your dog to get the proper hydration through the blood flow and to circulate efficiently through the body. See, a lot of people don't understand this or know this. And so this is why I'm doing this show. All right? Because many owners unknowingly feed foods that are high in sodium, processed meats. Like I seen a person feeding bacon and hot dogs and sausages and deli meat and all that crap, right? Large amount of salt. While that's fine if you did that occasionally and you just like, you having some bacon. You here, boy, here, girl, take a little bit of that. But regularly feeding those foods, man, can contribute to obesity. That's one, and it could be harmful in the long run and cause heart disease. And this is what you must know. All right. So we had a show before, and people was talking about what they was feeding dogs. And I told people, I said, hey, man, look, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do for your dog. I'm here to make you aware. All right. So if you feeding table scraps, another another common problem where it caused a problem in the bellies of the dog, the whole gastric tract, right? And that's the common problem because human food is higher in what? Fat, sodium, sugar, and then you add the seasoning and all that. And seasoning go with salt as well, right? And people get that misconstrued and think that, oh yeah, this dog can have this. Man, you can reward your dog with a healthier snack, man. Like a small portion of a dog's safe food and vegetables like I do, right? Heart health matters, man. You got to understand the heart is, we talking about cars earlier. The heart is the engine of the body. Every second, every day, it pumps oxygen, rich blood through every organ of your dog, every muscle of your dog, every cell. And when that heart is not functioning properly, the entire body suffers. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand when you're doing too much and trying to do too much or follow trends that other people is doing, heart disease doesn't just develop overnight. It'll do it gradually, and over months or years. You see? So you can say, "Oh yeah, my dog is always fine." How you know that? Do you get blood work done? No, you don't. So how would you know, right? Because most dogs with heart disease doesn't even show the signs that they have heart disease or they have a problem with their heart. So keeping dogs lean, that reduces the workload placed on the heart, right? Daily exercises improves the circulation of the heart, strengthens the system, right? It helps maintain that healthy blood pressure that the pup needs. The proper nutrition provides the fuel the heart needs, okay? The fuel that the heart needs. Like I said, you got to think about it like it's the heart is the engine of your dog. You have to view it that way, right? So you got to understand, man, this is the things that I try to tell people, and this is why I try to bring this awareness to us. It's never to try to put somebody down or tell them to go to the vet or just do this. Then I'm telling you because I see it every day, every single day. This is what I see, right? So you have to look at what it means to properly feed your dog. You know, cleaning your dog bowl, not just when it's empty and they drunk all the water that you just refill it, man. Get you some blue dish detergent, man. Clean that bowl out. Your dog will definitely appreciate it, man. There's little bacteria and parasites that's in your dog bowl that build up. Now, if you feed your dog or you already have the metal bowls, then you're already ahead because that reduces a lot of that. But that still needs to be cleaned out. You can't just refill it with water. Man, it takes 5 seconds to rinse that thing out, man. Rinse that thing out, man. Make sure you give your dog fresh water, not just one time a day, man. Come on, man. Real dog men and real dog women who care. No, whether you got a 9 to 5, whether you don't work, or whatever the case is, whether you work from home, let me tell you something, man. The grind doesn't stop. No matter how tired you are, no matter how tired I am a dog man every single day. And I can have a hard, tired day. My friends know. My friends call me. I don't answer. Man, where you been at? I ain't did this, man. I was asleep. It's 6 o'clock. Man, I got off a few hours ago. I'm asleep, bro. I'm done for the day. But you know what I had to take care of? These dogs before I can fall asleep. Then I gotta get up and still be a dog man again. And then try to go back to sleep and then get ready for the next day. It doesn't stop, man. It doesn't stop, y'all. So that's why I try to bring everything and I try to bring awareness to us who care about our dogs, who love our dogs, right? That's the thing that I try to bring to the table for us, man. So we get to talk about something that's real, right? We start to bring exercise. And why exercise is important, Duro? Well, let's break exercise down from what I understand about exercise. Now, if you know a little bit more about exercise, that's great. Comment, let me know. I'm not claiming to know every single thing. I'm not claiming to be a dog wizard or a man who just knows everything. I'm not a know-it-all. Okay? There's some things that I might not know that you might know. But what I do know from working in my field, I'm bringing it to you so that you would know. All right? So this is how we do things. Now, from my point of view, I feel like this: your dog shouldn't just have a yard. I feel like you should walk your dog, because every hike, every walk, every game of fetch, the flirt pole is a great one. A structured workout. The people that got the the Jenny Mills, people that got those, that increases the lung capacity of your dog and it burns excess calories. So that's why those workouts that I just named are great for your dog, right? Daily movement also strengthens the muscles and the tendons and ligaments that support the joints of your dog, right? So this is what you got to understand. Exercise isn't just supposed to be physical. It's supposed to provide mental stimulation for your dog. Dogs that receive consistent physical activity often experience fewer behavioral issues. So meaning they don't be bored, right? They won't chew your house up, chew up the couch, chew up the pillows, chew up something else, right? Because exercise is going to reduce that boredom. It's going to take away that anxiety. It's going to stop the excess energy. And a tired dog is usually what? A calmer dog. And a calmer dog is usually what? A happier dog. Let's talk about it, right? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of the times you think just sticking your dog in the backyard has worked for them. That's not exercise, man. Most dogs just wander around the yard. They sniff a few spots. They laying down, man. They structured activities such as walks and obedience training and flirt pole sessions and swimming and hiking and, like I said, the treadmill, Jenny mill, whatever you want to call it, weight pulling. All of these things is to provide the physical condition and mental engagements for your dogs. And I like it. I respect it. So when I see people doing it, I love it. Most of the time I follow them if I see them doing stuff like that, working their dogs and doing things, right? So you have to understand walking isn't just about burning calories, man. It's about strengthening the heart and building confidence in your dog. That's when you bond with your dog, exposing your dog to a new environment, improving your dog's leash manners, right? Creating a stronger bond with your dog, being a dog man and a dog woman, and being an owner. That's what these walks are for. Your dogs love them. They've been waiting all day to go out. They've been waiting all day for you to come home, for you to take them somewhere that they haven't been, to have a different change of scenery, for them to sniff. You know why dogs sniff a whole lot if you take them somewhere? Because that's their daily news. That's how they getting what's going on around where you taking them. Whether a squirrel left some news, whether another dog left the news, whether a raccoon, whether a coyote, whether a fox left some news for them. But it stimulates the brain and it helps your dog maintain them being a dog. Let your dog be a dog, man. Let them sniff. Let them explore. That's how you get a strong dog. That's how you get a confident dog. All right? You get a confident dog from letting your dog explore things, hear different things, smell different things, be around different things, different sounds. That's what you get. When you don't do that and you try to take your dog somewhere and now your dog acting like a mutt and you embarrassed. Well, wouldn't you? If somebody just held you in confinement somewhere and then decided to let you out and take you somewhere you never been, you wouldn't know how to feel. Put yourself in that dog's shoes, right? These are the things that you got to keep in mind. These are the things that you have to keep in mind, right? So this is why. So when a lot of the times when people ask me about um, different dogs and breedings and different things, the way I see when we get to breeding dogs, right? The way I see things it might be a little bit different than how another person see things and how another person might see things, right? And that's all right. But for me, I don't like a dog that's too bulky. I don't like too much bulk on a dog, or a dog that has a poor chest proportion, right? Because poor chest proportions that can interfere with the movement and the breathing, right? So that's how you gotta look at dogs. You can't just be like, oh yeah, man, that dog got a nice big head. Yeah, I'm gonna breed to that. No, what are you doing that for? Is is that helping your dog? So when I look at my dogs and I say, hey man, listen, I want to do this breeding, I'm looking at everything across the board, right? Now, if I do this breeding with this, my dogs don't get that. They don't have that. So I don't want to breed to nothing that had that. I don't want that, right? Because I'm noticing a lot of dogs that got that, they the ones that's dying fast. So I don't want that. So what I want to take something that can still add something that I don't have without me compromising too much to make an overdone dog. You understand that? You gotta understand that, man. And a lot of people overlook the chest, and I don't know why. The chest is a big part of your dog or a dog that you have. Whether you should scrap or keep that dog, that's very important. A dog chest is a major role in an athletic performance in the breathing of a dog. You understand? You have to understand that a well-developed, properly proportioned dog in the heart and lungs of that dog is often seen in those working dogs, right? Because the working dogs, they working. They oxygen is all the way up to par. They lung capacity is good. So when you breed to something that's exaggerated, and the chest width is crazy, the depth or overbulk or whatever you might want to call it, the dog movement and the respiratory efficiency can suffer some, and it can be a big suffer, right? And especially over time. And you want to look at the front because an over heavily front in a poor chest structure can cause a dog to tire more quickly, and people don't understand that, right? The chest is how your dog overheat faster and struggle to maintain the endurance during a workout or exercise, right? So a lot of people don't understand that either. So if these structural faults are inherited in your dog, the offspring is definitely more likely to have those athletic problems, right? Good breeding isn't just about creating the biggest chest, y'all, right? It's about producing a chest that supports healthy movement, proper lung function, and long-term performance. And that's what we want to do, right? So this is how I like to keep people up to par on their thinking, right? Like when I talk to my buddies or in a group chat, my brothers or whatever the case, and we're talking dogs, I always, if they ask, hey, Doro, what you think about this? And I'll look at it and be like, you know, not really my flow. And that's usually what I'll say, and to get everybody to ask, well, what's wrong with it? Why it ain't your flow? I like it. And I might just say something like, well, if you take that and this is what I have and put that together, you might just have some dogs who can't breathe. And who want a dog that can't breathe? Who want a dog that can't have endurance while they're working? Because it's too much chest on that dog. That's not fair to that animal, and that type of dog should not be bred, right? But not everybody feel that way. So this is the thing that, we have to keep in mind when we're trying to make better dogs. So let's just keep those things in mind when you're talking about breeding, and especially in American bullies or mastiff like dogs or mastiffs themselves. Like, keep that in mind because that's very, very important. Very, very important, man. So, and on top of that, I want to I want to say this too, because when you have a dog that have a deep chest, or when you have a dog who can't exercise a lot, you got to understand how to cool that type of dog down, right? So one of the biggest mistakes that you might make is finishing a hard workout and immediately putting the dog in the crate. But you got to understand, like when I was boxing, my boxing coach would tell us we had to run it. We had this park in Center City, Philly, and every time you run around this thing, I'm not lying. Every time you run around this thing is 1 mile, and we had to do laps around this thing, not just one time either. Not just one time either, man. We had to run laps around this thing. Okay. But one thing Mr. Max used to tell us, he used to say, "Don't just stop." After he's like, okay, we're done, because he used to run with us. But after he say, okay, we done, this is the workout that we got, or whatever the case is, when he used to say we're done, he would be like, walk some, let your heart rate come down, right? And let your breathing come back to normal. Don't never, he used to tell us, don't ever just work out and then just stop. That's very dangerous. All right. Dogs need time for their heart rate, their breathing, and their body temperature, just like humans, to return to naturally before. All right. So after a good walk, after you use your dog on the flirt pole, spring pole, workout, conditioning exercise, don't just stop and just be like, okay, yeah, now it's time to go back in the crate. No, that's a big mistake, man. And I'm telling you this because it's honest. Do this. Spend 5 to 10 minutes doing a slow, relaxed walk with your dog after you worked your dog and did the flirt pole, the spring pole, a good 3-mile walk, whatever you've done, because that gradually cools down your dog and allows your dog blood to continue to circulate through those muscles, right? And it helps to remove the waste products and reduces stress placed on the heart and the lungs. That's very important. So you don't want no stiffness to develop after intense activity, right? So like I also said, that's why you want something that's going to feed the muscles of your dog. Why? Just like after we work out, we want to feed the muscles of ourselves. So that's the same thing, right? So watch your dog's breathing, man. Watch how heavy the panting is after exercise. And what you want to see is breathing that becomes slower and more controlled over several minutes. If your dog continue panting heavily for some time, seems weak, or your dog collapse, or has pale or bluish gums, those are warning signs that require you to bring them in to a person like me. So these are the things that I want to make you guys aware, to the brothers and sisters who love to work their dog. All right. Water is one of the most important recovery tools that you could give your dog. Now you can also give your dog electrolytes and stuff like that. You got pace and stuff you can put in the water to help them recover as well. Yes. But a lot of people make a mistake, and I have to bring this up because I'm telling you to work your dog for the heart. A lot of people make the mistake of letting your dog gulp down a whole entire bowl of water immediately after a workout. And while your dog definitely needs water, especially if it's hot outside, a good amount of water can sometimes lead to vomit or stomach discomfort. All right. So I just want to make you aware of that. Allow your dog to cool down, like I said, while offering several smaller drinks over the next 15 or 25 or let's say 30 minutes. And once their breathing has normalized, then you can return to giving them a nice, good drink of water. You know, on a nice hot day, hydration starts before the workout because a well hydrated dog is going to handle that exercise and heat much better than one that's already dehydrated. You understand? So you already want to make sure that your dog got what it's supposed to have, right? And this is going to take me into what I really wanted to get into is don't give your dog ice cold water, right? If it's hot outside. Instead, put your dog inside, man, where you got the AC on. You know what I mean? Wet the paws of your dog, the belly, you know, the armpits, the around the under the neck. These are areas that help your body temperature drop and safely without causing the blood vessels in the skin to constrict, you know, with very cold water. So those are areas that I feel like you should put on your dog. Under the neck, the paws, because we cool down from our feet as well. So your dog will cool down from the feet. All right. The belly and the armpits and under the neck. Like right under the throat. You know, you can put it on there. That helps a lot. And you know, so that's how you want to cool your dog off, y'all. And I always tell this, do not feed your dog crazy or feed your dog at all. I want to say after you work your dog crazy. You want to wait 2 hours after a good workout to feed your dog. Okay. Give your dog time to recover. All right. A dog that's still paying heavily and is focused on cooling itself and that's not a dog that's going to digest the food correctly. All right. So waiting until they breathing and their heart rate have returned to normal, that allowed the blood flow to return, and now the digestive system can work normally. And that's how you know that's working normal. So that's how you want to do things, right? And that's especially for deep chested dogs or mastiff breeds and American bullies. Not so much in pits, but I will watch pit bulls too because I've had a few pits with GDV. So I just want everybody to understand that exercise after eating after exercise, pardon me, will increase that risk of GDV, right? Commonly called bloat. All right. And while bloat is different things, it could be from breeds, different breeds can get it more prone to than regular breeds, but it can also be prevented and it could be a factor. So avoiding heavy exercise around mealtime is a really, really good precaution. So, this is just how I like to do things. And I like to bring this type of information to people so that you can understand what you need to understand. Those that exercise regularly, they need that good, proper nutrition to rebuild the muscle and to maintain the energy. So always make sure you feed your dog good. Always make sure your dog got water, and know your dog, man. Know your dog breed. Yeah, you know what I mean? Know what you're supposed to know about your dog. Know if your dog is overweight, because an overweight dog is one that's out of shape. That dog might need much longer to recover. Understand how conditioned your dog is, because your dog might only need minutes to recover. And the goal isn't to compare your dog to someone else's or another dog that you own. The goal is to keep your dog healthy so your dog recovers safely and that you both are ready for tomorrow's, workout, walk, flirt pole, spring pole, run, whatever the situation may be. you know. But that's just what I like to bring to you guys to make sure that you always help your dog recover after they've been doing, you know, a good workout and a good training. And that's the importance of your dog working out. So, and another thing I always want to tell people is that exercise don't always have to be intense, y'all. You know, a lot of people think your dog got to sprint and run and do this every day. That's not true. All right. A 30 to 45-minute structured walk every day can improve the heart health of your dog, the lung function of your dog. I always say running and walking, that really helps your dog grow, your joints, the bones, mobility, the strength and the mental health of your dog, the muscle tone, the weight control, consistency, just being consistent and having that consistency, it beats the intensity. And that's just like us. A lot of people think you got to go to the gym and you got to lift the most heaviest weights, and that shows anything. That doesn't. You can build muscle off of 25-pound weights, man, if you being consistent and you know how to build muscle. So that's the same thing. You have to understand that when you're talking about your dog, because muscle protect the joints, and strong muscles act like shock absorbers for your dog. So conditioned muscles, they help stabilize your dog. The shoulders, right? And what's right under the shoulders? The elbows. And then you go back to that great top line that your dog should have. Then you got the hips, the back legs, you got the joints, right? You got the knees, and you, like I said, on that top line, you got the spine. So that's the main reason why you want to, regular condition may reduce the risk of some of those injuries, that your dog might have when your dog have the proper weight. And that's very important. But like I say, everybody's dog is different, and some people have different breeds, and different breeds need different exercises, right? So that's the major thing that I like to tell people. Um, that a lot of times you have to you got to keep in mind that your dog is, an animal. Let your animal recover. Take care of those hearts, take care of those joints, take care of those muscles, build muscle, um, build up the rear, build up the front as much as you can. Because when your dog get older, they're going to gain weight anyway. And then, so if you got a 98-pound dog, they get older, they turn about 7, 8, 9, God willing. You're looking at a 110-pound dog because they got a little fatter because they got older. So that's why, maintaining a weight is the quality of life, man. And, that's the thing that I like to bring to the table for us as real dog men and real dog women who love their dogs. Because as breeders and as owners, we spend thousands of dollars on the dogs, right? We spend thousands of dollars on the food, the supplements, and if you do it right, the veterinarian care, right? But one of the most powerful things we can give our dog doesn't cost nothing. And that's us being dog men and dog women and giving them our time. So a 30-minute walk, a game on the spring pole, the flirt pole, some obedience training, or a hike can strengthen their heart and protect their joints and improve their mental health, right? And what that does is that add a quality of life for your dog. And we only get these dogs, man, for a short period of time. So give them every chance to live a long, healthy life as much as you can. Because at the end of the day, that's what a responsible dog man and a responsible dog woman is all about. Taking care of these dogs. You understand? That's all I'm about. That's all I'm trying to bring to the table. Nothing else. So this is what I want us to understand, man. To be aware is to be alive. You already know my slogan, man. Rest in peace, Dice. Ain't nothing nice. We only get one, so make sure you enjoy this life. One love, one dog, one bone. Ease.
I mean, the American Pit Bull and the Bully, they're like family to us, you know?
It's the loyalty, man. Nothing like it.
Yep, they're special. And remember, new Duro Lounge podcast episodes are out every Wednesday.
I'm hard, I'm tough, I'm Duro. My dogs stay healthy, my money stay true. I'm from the P where the streets stay cool. 20 stay living, that's the golden rule. I've been ballin' for years, now you knew. Welcome to the bully camp, we the crew. Where the real ones shine and the fake ones lose. Step into the light if you're ready to move. We the kings, we the ones that they praise. Living fast, in the glow auto blaze. Money straight, like it's set in the maze. We the kings, till the end of our day. I'm Duro, my dogs stay healthy, my money stay true. I'm from the P where the streets stay cruel. 20 stay living, that's the golden rule.